and welcome to another history document. Today's topic is going to be the causes of World War I.
World War I was the first war which occurred on such a grand scale, involving all five major powers of Europe in the 1900s. So what exactly caused such a catastrophe? Well, let's find out.
The causes of World War I. Let's start with the long-term causes of World War I. Imperialism, nationalism, militarism and alliances.
Imperialism is when a country takes over new lands or countries and makes them subject to their rule.
This was already a major cause in the European sector before the 1900s. Russia fought a series of wars in 1870s against the Ottomans, which gave them power over more territories.
By 1900 the British Empire extended over 5 continents. France also had control over many parts of Africa. As industrialism began to grow, markets were needed and so began the scramble for new land.
With Germany on the rise, Britain viewed them as a threat to its global empire as the leading economic power in Europe. Germany attempted twice to break up France and Britain by threatening French imperial ambitions in Morocco in 1905 and 1911.
By 1914, imperialistic rivalries resulted in heightened tensions, distrust and stronger reliance on allies. It also encouraged states to invest heavily in arms and contributed to the sense that war was inevitable. Nationalism means being a strong supporter of the rights and interests of one's country.
There were two kinds of nationalism in 19th century Europe.
1. The desire of subject peoples for independence. It led to a series of national struggles for independence among the Balkan peoples. Other powers got involved and caused much instability. 2. The desire of independent nations for dominance and prestige. As the five powers tried to dominate each other in Europe, their rivalries may be regarded as one of the causes of the First World War.
The Congress of Vienna, held from September 1814 to June 1815, was aimed to sort out problems in Europe. Representatives from Britain, Austria, Prussia and Russia decided upon a new Europe that left both Germany and Italy as divided states.
Strong nationalist elements led to the reunification of Italy in 1861 and Germany in 1871.
After the reunification of Germany, from 1871 to 1890, she showed her supremacy of Europe by forming a series of peaceful alliances. However, after 1890, Germany got more aggressive and wanted to build up her influence in every part of the world. Because German ambitions were extended to many parts of the globe, Germany came into serious conflicts with all other major powers of Europe, except Austria-Hungary, from 1890 to 1914.
Militarism is the tendency to regard military efficiency as the supreme ideal of the state and make all other interests to those of the military. The division of Europe between the five major powers led to an arms race between each of the main countries. Fueled by greed and fear, both France and Germany doubled their armies between 1870 and 1914. In 1905, Britain released the Dreadnought. This caused a naval race between Germany and Britain, and Germany soon followed suit, introducing their own battleships. They also drew up a plan of action that involved attacking France through Belgium if Russia made an attack on Germany. Militarism was rising throughout Europe. Bigger armies, more arms and easier transportation like railways are all examples of what was happening to make a country better than the others. This may have occurred throughout Europe for the reasons of protection and defense of the country. It also occurred in order to protect colonies.
Alliances were caused as an act of fear among the five powers, in order to prevent an attack if it occurred. In the late 19th century, Bismarck, the German chancellor, thought on grouping with two of the main powers to make Germany safe from attack. Germany sought an alliance with Austria-Hungary and Russia in 1873, putting herself within two of the main powers, and leaving France in diplomatic isolation. This was the first of many following alliances, also known as the Three Emperors League. In 1879, the dual alliance was formed between Austria-Hungary and Germany, forming a stronger alliance by a secret treaty. In 1882, Italy joined Germany and Austria-Hungary to form the Triple Alliance, to keep the French off. In 1891, Russia consulted with France over a fallout with Germany and Austria-Hungary, only to form their own alliance known as the Dual Entente. It wasn't soon after that the British were growing alarmed at the German policy, and realized that their diplomatic isolation in Europe was growing dangerous, so they cinched an agreement with France in 1904, forming the Entente Cordiale, which later grew to the linkage between the two and Russia, to form the Triple Entente.
Now let's talk about the short-term causes of World War I. The Moroccan crisis, the Bosnian crisis, and the Balkan Wars.
In 1904, Morocco had been given to France by Britain from the agreement of the Entente Cordiale, and had been given the right to intervene if the authority in Morocco collapsed. Germany, however, was not happy with this decision and sought to challenge it.
In 1905, Germany announced her support for Moroccan independence, hoping for a victorious war. This was, however, narrowly avoided by an international conference helped by Germany, which allowed France to retain possession of Morocco.
However, in 1911, when the order broke down in Morocco, the French government decided to send its troops down. This, however, exceeded the agreement made in 1906, so the Germans also sent their people down to Morocco. This triggered the Second Moroccan Crisis.
Britain supported France, and Germany was persuaded to back down for part of the French's territory of Congo. In 1908, Austria-Hungary made a deal with Russia and took over the former Turkish province of Bosnia.
This angered Serbians, who felt the province should be theirs as they needed it for access to the sea. Serbia and Russia proposed a conference which was refused, so Serbia threatened Austria-Hungary with war allied with Russia.
Germany, allied to Austria-Hungary, mobilized its forces and prepared to threaten Russia. Britain intervened to mediate the crisis and avoid war.
However, in 1909, Germany threatened war as Russia delayed to accept their proposal. At this point, Serbia and Russia were forced to back down.
The first of the Balkan Wars took place in 1912, when Italy decided to take advantage of Turkish weakness and seize Turkish province of Tripoli in North Africa.
With this occurring, the Balkan countries were scared of Austria taking advantage of this situation and seizing the last of the Turkish land in the Balkan region, thus causing Bulgaria, Serbia, Greece and Montenegro to form the Balkan League in 1912.
In October of that same year, they decided to attack the remaining Turkish forces back out of their region. When the countries of the Balkan League began to split up the territories, Austria, as their arch-rival, demanded that Serbia be denied access to the sea.
This caused Russia to intervene and demand that Serbia be granted access. Germany tried to save land for Turkey as she wanted them as allies, and she also tried to limit Russian gains.
Britain and France then came in to make sure that the conflict did not spread.
Lastly, the immediate cause of World War I. The July Crisis.
The July Crisis in 1914 led to World War I.
On the 28th of June 1914, the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austrian throne, was assassinated by a Serbian nationalist. Soon after, Germany offered unconditional support to Austria-Hungary, also known as the Blank Check, and agreed to follow any action of punishment inflicted towards the Serbs.
On the 23rd of July, Austria-Hungary offered Serbia an ultimatum which was surprisingly accepted, however not fully. So they declared war against Serbia on the 29th of July. Russia then jumped to Serbia's defense, causing an uproar between Germany.
Failing to resolve the conflict, Germany declared war on Russia on the 1st of August. On the 3rd of August, Germany wanted free passage through Belgium, however they refused. On the same day, Germany declared war on France.
On August 4th, Britain sent an ultimatum to Germany to withdraw from Belgium or Britain would declare war on Germany. Germany chose to ignore the British ultimatum, causing Britain to declare war on Germany. This, of course, was the start of World War I.
As you could see, World War I was not caused by just one event, rather the accumulation of all the events together.
That is all from Another History Document. Tune in next time for the practices of World War I.